Episode number 280. How good it sounds to hear you say, Teddy. No one ever calls me that but you. And Laurie sat down with an air of great content. What does Amy call you? My lord. That's like her. Well, you look it. And Josie plainly betrayed that she found her boy comelier than ever. The pillow was gone, but there was a barricade, nevertheless, a natural one, raised by time, absence, and change of heart. Both felt it, and for a minute looked at one another as if that invisible barrier cast a little shadow over them. It was gone directly, however, for Laurie said, with a vain attempt at dignity. Don't I look like a married man, and the head of a family? Not a bit, and you never will. You've grown bigger and bonnier, but you're the same scapegrace as ever. Now really, Joe, you ought to treat me with more respect, began Laurie, who enjoyed it all immensely. How can I, when the mere idea of you, married and settled, is so irresistibly funny that I can't keep sober? Answered Joe, smiling all over her face, so infectiously that they had another laugh, and then settled down for good talk, quite in the pleasant old fashion. It's no use you're going out in the cold to get Amy, for they're all coming up presently. I couldn't wait. I wanted to be the one to tell you the grand surprise, and have first skim, as we used to say when we squabbled about the cream. Of course you did, and spoiled your story by beginning at the wrong end. Now, start right, and tell me how it all happened. I'm pining to know. Well, I did it to please Amy, began Laurie, with a twinkle that made Joe exclaim. Fib number 1. Amy did it to please you. Go on, and tell the truth, if you can, sir. Now she's beginning to marmot. Isn't it jolly to hear her? Said Laurie to the fire, and the fire glowed and sparkled as if it quite agreed. It's all the same, you know, she and I being one. We planned to come home with the Carrolls a month or more ago, but they suddenly changed their minds, and decided to pass another winter in Paris. But Grandpa wanted to come home. He went to please me, and I couldn't let him go alone, neither could I leave Amy, and Mrs. Carroll had got English notions about chaperons, and such nonsense, and wouldn't let Amy come with us. So I just settled the difficulty by saying, let's be married, and then we can do as we like. Of course you did. You always have things to suit you. Not always, and something in Laurie's voice made Joe say hastily. How did you ever get Anne to agree? It was hard work, but between us, we talked her over, for we had heaps of good reasons on our side. There wasn't time to write and ask leave, but you all liked it, had consented to it by and by, and it was only taking time by the fetlock, as my wife says. Aren't we proud of those 2 words, and don't we like to say them? Interrupted Joe, addressing the fire in her turn, and watching with delight the happy light it seemed to kindle in the eyes that had been so tragically gloomy when she saw them last.